Hello everyone. Today's video is on Ketu, third house. Right away, let me ask you, how's that battle going with your siblings? How's that war going with your siblings? Hold on to that thought. I'm coming right to it. So, firstly, I want to say thank you to everyone for giving so much love. I posted my story on the weekend and I got so many emails filled with love. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for all the wonderful comments. Thank you for showing support through the hard time. Thank you for allowing me to open up and express the battle that I had to fight to get to where I am today. And how do I thank you guys for joining, becoming part of this family? It means a lot that you guys are here. And if you're watching this video for the first time, welcome to the channel where we're bringing a change into the occult, into the astrology, by speaking only the truth, by breaking all the conditioning, by breaking down all the old patterns, by breaking down the fears. We're here to speak the truth, make you smile. My goal here is to help you read your chart, clear out all the blockages, and see what is it going to take that's going to make you smile. So if you're here for the first time, welcome to the family. Do subscribe, and I hope you guys learned something new today. And today's video is on Ketu in the third house. Like I always say, this will apply more heavily to someone who's going through Ketu Mahadasha. But if you're here to learn astrology and you want to learn the effects of what Ketu does in the third house, please welcome and join the video. So welcome, my name is Jaspir, and I don't do just astrology. I used your birth chart to dig more deeper into a soul level to see what is it going to take to make you smile. Where is that pain point inside you? What is it that you're hiding from the world? And today we're going to talk about the battles that we have to fight with our family, siblings, if your Ketu is sitting in the third house. So what is a third house? In the natural zodiac, overall, that house, doesn't matter what lagna you are, and you could have Leo there, you could have Sagittarius there, whatever signs there, but the base, that third house, the real owner of that house is Gemini sign. So that belongs to Gemini. And as soon as the word Gemini comes to mind, what comes to your mind? Fun, flirty, energetic, chatty, right? Oh, Gemini people are so flirty. Guess what? Ketu's here now. And once Ketu activates, when Ketu Mahadasha comes, these people forget what flirting is even like. So, third house, I'll just give a little summary. Third house is about your courage, okay, your self-efforts, your ego, okay, your ego lives here. And I don't want to put in a negative light that ego is bad. So courage is part of third house. Ego, self-efforts, courage. Siblings are seen from the third house. And communication, how you speak, what you speak, not your speech, but your communication style, are all seen from the third house. Now, a lot of the taboo, a lot of things that people don't want to talk about on the camera. Third house is about your sexual courage, okay? Your desire to connect with others. That's where the flirting energy comes in from. Your short-term pleasure is also seen from here. A lot of the people, what happens is when Ketu is activated in the third house, I'm going to get right to it, people get very, excuse me, celibacy is born from Ketu in the third. People get intense on the path of brahmacharya, which is wrong. I want to talk about it. So there has to be a balance. These are the people that go through intense transformation from the physical world into more of a spiritual or inward journey, because we're talking about ego here, all right? So I'm going to talk about the battles with the siblings in a second. Let me start diving into some of these topics that I've just touched on, right? Like communication and speaking, for example, and how Ketu changes you. So Ketu Ketu is very spiritual, right? And sometimes people say, oh, people have trouble speaking, or your Ketu tends to cut off your speaking or speech and so forth, your communication. Ketu wants spirituality. Ketu doesn't want gossip. Ketu doesn't have time for you to speak nonsense. These people enjoy communicating at more spiritual level. They like learning, because Rahu is sitting in the 9th house, right? Their higher calling. They want to learn philosophy, deeper meaning of spirituality, and educate themselves more deeper. But Ketu here says, don't speak dirty, don't speak gossip, don't speak backbiting, nothing negative. Ketu won't let you do that. It will punish you. And what happens is, when Ketu activates in the 3rd house, because it's the house of communication now, these people, they want to speak less nonsense. They're tired of the short talk, the politics, the gossip, and eventually they just want to become silent. Okay, because they resonate more with their soul, their ego, and how blissful it feels when they talk about spiritual topics, and how much they like learning about spirituality. And when they feed their ego, their self-efforts, their inner self, when you hear these people talk, when you start talking on spirituality or religious topic, and you'll realize how good it feels. And if you go to parties and stuff in your Ketu Mahadasha and your Ketu's in 3rd house, you don't want to sit there and gossip. You don't. But if you find that one person who's also into spirituality at that party, you're enjoying. You finally connect with somebody. Otherwise, you're quiet. So what happens is, these people, they go through so many changes. I want to talk about them, their work, their career, sudden ups and downs, all these things I will talk about. And they face so many challenges, especially on the family front, and that they want to stop fighting, and they zip up. Ketu in the 3rd usually takes down people down the path of silent meditation. In the Vedic culture, in the Indian culture, that is called mona, like silent sadhana. People have a days off where they stay silent for the whole day. And they start realizing that once they're pure, once their thoughts are pure, that something inside is more divine. And your communication style changes. From going from gossip, you want to talk about the divine more. You want to spread the light of divine. So when these people become silent, they don't want to talk about gossip. They have nothing, so they find alternate ways of channeling that divine energy out. Some of them do become public speaker healers sometimes. A lot of the times, to channel that energy out, they become painters and Reiki healers, Ayurvedic healers, depending on how they want to channel that energy out. They can be great speakers on spirituality. They go through intense transformation on the career, but they become public speakers, great motivators on spirituality, what kind of journey they've gone through, the kind of pain that they had to come through. Remember, any battles you fight spiritually, what are they like? You had to leave your family behind to choose this new path now, because your family becomes toxic environment for you. And I'll tell you why you have to leave your own family behind sometimes to walk down this path. So those people that are working in the corporate world in big cities or anywhere in the world, all of a sudden they get up and they become a yogi, or they go live in the mountains. Sometimes these are the people, because they can't take it. They can't take the gossip, the noise outside. So they go inward. And Ketu in the 3rd, it'll silence you speaking to the Maya, to the world, to the noise, the gossip out there, and it'll make you go inward into silence, right? So you can discover yourself, what you're speaking. And now, the whole topic about siblings here. 3rd house is the house of siblings. Also, sometimes your close cousins, your first cousins are also like siblings. In the Indian culture, sometimes we don't even say cousins. We say my cousin brother, my cousin sister. That's how close the cousins are. So 3rd house is not only brother, sister, it's also your cousins. And believe it or not, it's also the closest of the closest friendships that you have. Sometimes A lot of times we say, oh, this is my best friend, he's like my brother, this is my best friend, she is like my sister. So those also get accounted in to the third house. Sometimes what happens now when Ketu is activated in the third, you could be having karmic debt with these people. It could be positive or negative, right? All of a sudden your best friend, your own sibling, turns against you and they become your own enemy now. Here you're fighting for the same land, you're dividing assets and stuff, or the one person, your one sibling or your one best friend that you thought was going to be there for the rest of life, they end up backstabbing you now. So how do we find out this karma? Well, I've always said it. Everyone has their own special journey going on. This is where you have to reach out to me and email me, and I would love to help you to discover that. It's not only your D1, your birth chart, it's partially your D9 as well. And to look at siblings, there's the D3 chart as well. It's a more zoomed in version of your D1. So along with, I always look at the D20 and a few other charts. So karmic patterns, karmic debts and stuff that are seen from third house, we have to look at each chart individually. I cannot tell you through this video what that debt could be. Why are you fighting with your siblings? You are a different person. Somebody else has a different journey. So everybody comes with different past. So we have to assess this individually. But yes, there is a lot of karma sometimes in third house with siblings. Now, something that's never talked about in the astrology or online videos, but I would love to talk about it, is the shutdown of your sexual desires through the third house. Because Gemini is the sexual sign, right? Somebody who has Venus, for example, in Gemini, they're a very passionate person. Their communication style is very soft and sensual. So Gemini overall is a very, very sexual, sensual type of sign. And when Ketu comes here, Ketu gets activated. Ketu's like, you've had all the pleasures in the past and stuff. This is your past. You don't need it. So it shuts down your sexual energy quite a bit. But remember, we live in a world where we have to balance everything. In my Ketu second house, I said just don't get up and travel the world and leave your family behind. In this video, I want to send out one message, okay? Don't become celibate overnight. That's not how you practice spirituality. If you're married, your opposite gender partner has needs. You have to communicate, okay? That energy needs to be awakened more spiritually. How can you embrace tantric practices into this, right? Not black magic, not that type of tantra, but more of sexually. How are you connecting with your partner more sexually on an energetic level now, on a spiritual level? There's tantric energy or like sexual energy is very pure. And Ketu wants you to dive to that. It's going to cut you down from one night stands, and it's going to cut you down from sudden pleasure. It wants you to reawaken with more spiritually aligned pleasures. So don't think, if somebody said, oh yeah, you got Ketu in the third house and you're going to be a monk now, you have to give up your sexual practice with your partner, with your wife or husband, and you can't touch them. Don't practice brahmacharya. It's called like celibacy, brahmacharya, and don't practice it that hard that you forget about connecting to your partner. No, bring a healthy balance. If you're struggling and you've been trapped under guilt, let's discuss this, right? Some people call it very taboo. Why are you mixing sexuality word with astrology and stuff like this? Well, that's how the energies work, right? Spiritually, what's happening to you? Ketu doesn't want you to shut down pleasure. No, it's saying awaken to more beautiful, more divine. How are you connecting to your partner at breathwork? How are you connecting to the energy? It's not a quick little mingle. How are you connecting more energetically? So that's what I want to send a message out to. Do not forget your partner's need. Do not just get shut down and be like, oh no, I'm a monk now and I cannot practice these type of things. There's monks out there who are eating meat. Yeah, can you believe that? So it's very taboo. So it's fine to practice, have sexual desires, but how are you channeling that energy matters, right? How are you looking at your partner? How are you satisfying them, and how are you receiving that energy? So don't shut yourself sexually. Now, that's the third house at a very basic level on astrology, right? And I said your higher calling is a Rahu in ninth house, the house of Dharma, and it's going to do its part there. But how's Ketu transforming you? What is Ketu trying to do to you? This is, again, I'll divide the video. That was the easy stuff. Now this is a little bit more advanced astrology. How is Ketu transforming you? I always say transformation is seen 8 houses away. 8th house, as we know, is death and rebirth, transformation. How are you changing yourself? So from the third house, you got to count 8 houses away, starting with the third house. Third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, 8th house, 9th, 10th. Stop. You have counted 8 houses away. So your transformation is happening through the 10th house. And what is the 10th house? 10th house is the house of karma, your public image, your life path, right? A lot of people in the English or the Western culture have midhaven, it's called, like your highest point. It's your life path. And in the Indian Vedic charts, if you're using a very detailed software, the letter MC is written there. So what nakshatra is there? That has an indication usually on your life path sometimes. So 10th house has the magical powers to transform you. So Ketu is going to do it to the 10th house. Now, a person who has been living from the ego, right? They studied, they got a good job, they're an engineer now, they're working in a big firm, and all of a sudden the Ketu Mahadasha comes around and they have Ketu in the 3rd house. They'll feel the effects of the 3rd house. Like I said, it's fighting with siblings and some other issues, but their life is going to change through the 10th house. These are the people that are suddenly going to have a career shift that's more aligned to their soul purpose. They might not even become a healer because it's not their destiny, but they all of a sudden leave that corporate job and say they're so unhappy. And they want to do something more soul fulfilled, more aligned. So these are the people that have intense transformation. Like they leave their corporate job as a lawyer in the New York firm and all of a sudden they're a spiritual guru now. Right? What you go into Ketu Dasha, you're starting Ketu Dasha, and what you come out as, you're a totally different person. Ketu is going to change you completely. If you leave your corporate job today, and within 5 years you find your calling, that person, your coworker from the corporate job, if they bump into you one day, they're going to be like, oh my God, Smith, what happened to you? You were a completely different person. You could have been an ego-driven, like looking for that highest position. All of a sudden, you have this calmness in your voice. Oh, hi, James. It's so nice to meet you. My life turned around. I found a guru. And I open a charity, or I am selling paintings now, or like and something completely different here. And your public image, what people used to see you as, have completely changed now. People will not recognize you anymore after Ketu Dasha. That's how much power Ketu has to transform you. Now, if you're working a corporate job and you're living from the ego, right? 3rd house ego and 10th house your career. Now, if you're living from the ego and you don't want to give up that position, you can watch other videos on YouTube and see how people suffered in their corporate job until they took this calling from the universe, until they finally said, I had enough of this pressure. I'm sick and tired. Then they go home, they take some time off to see what is it that really makes them happy, right? That's Ketu. Ketu is doing your internal work. Ketu is saying, look inside, what's making you happy. Then they're like, you know what? I always wanted to be a chef. Let me take a course and go pursue culinary school. Let me become a chef now. I was a lawyer. I'm sick and tired. My calling is to be a chef. So you see intense transformation happen. I'm not saying everyone is going to become a yogi with this kind of a placement, but overall, their life completely changes. So that's the magic of being 8th away. So this is advanced again, but 8th house transforms you. Now I want to talk about family a little bit. A lot of people with Ketu in the 3rd, their family completely abandons them. right? Or they leave the family because they're sick and tired of the fighting and toxic. Not your siblings. I'm talking about your family environment. Sometimes Ketu stirs up a lot of drama and stuff, so you leave it behind. So your soul evolves through these transformational moments. Like you could be at a family party and everybody just talking about you, hating you, whatever you've gone through, and you're just sick and tired of all your immediate family members, and then you just want to get away from everybody. That's Ketu doing the magic of transformation now, right? So why is family getting stirred up here? Because again, this is advanced, but from the third house, 12th house away is your second house. So if you count third, fourth, fifth, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 1st, 2nd. So by the time you reach the second house, that's 12 houses away. What is the 12th house meaning? What does it mean when I say 12th house in astrology? 12th house is the house of loss, change. It's not only spirituality, but it's also change. How are you changing yourself, right? So there's circumstances in family that are created that are forcing you to change. You have to leave them behind sometimes. You have to cut them off, set those boundaries, saying, you know what? You guys have disrespected me enough my whole life. I'm done with you guys. And you also not only have to face a storm with family, second house is also about speech, your material success. Okay, so your material success ties in with that 10th house transformation. What you have accumulated, what you wanted to get up every morning, go achieve that title of the top lawyer in New York. Now all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm happy to open my own little restaurant, and I like making Italian food or pastas for the public. You like cooking pizza, for example, even, right? So what you accumulate, what your wealth of meaning of wealth is, real happiness changes. So there's a lot of different things at play. Your speech changes. If second house is speech, it has to go for a transformation. Like I said, communication is third, but speech is second. So Ketu here is saying what you're speaking is divine. If you truly give in to the transformation of Ketu, how Ketu wants to change you to become this pure individual, your speaking style changes. You might have been a very gossip, strict, ego-driven kind of an individual. Hey, it's all about me, me, me. Now it's all of a sudden going from I or me, you become a we person, right? We are transforming. We are loving hearts. The word we gets involved. So your speech change. And what I want to say is, overall, to get into any type of healing work, any type of change, remember, to become divinely aligned, you have to yourself become pure first for the divine energy to flow. Your thoughts, your speech, your food intake, everything has to get purified. If you're eating meat and you want to do healing work, that energy is not going to come to flow properly. So hence why you should be very careful who you're receiving healing from. Healing from as a counselor, from massage therapist, from Reiki healers, to your gurus, like speaking wise, who you're getting your blessings from as a guru and stuff like that. What type of energy are they carrying? How pure are they? Are they gossiping? Or are they pure, truly pure? Are they eating meat? Are they pure vegetarian? What kind of energy is flowing through them? Because let me tell you, if your speech or your thoughts are corrupt, you will not get the divine message out. If you want to become something pure, you yourself has to purify yourself first. And then Ketu or the divine will start blessing you. So I think this is it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something new, something different, something exciting, something that resonated with you. And there could have been some stuff that got missed out, but I hope I covered everything and somewhere it resonated with you. And if you're feeling lost or isolated, you're confused about your family, what this happened, and I didn't cover that, call me. We'll connect. I'll guide you to why that happened or why was that meant to be. If your siblings have always been fighting and you're confused, let's dig up a few of your divisional charts. Let's get into the D3s and stuff, okay? What is it? Why are you suffering? Why have you been carrying all this pain, right? So let's change you. Are you confused about your career and you still haven't found your calling? And you got Ketu in the third and Dasha is activated? Email me. My email is always in the description box, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and thank you if you stayed this long and watched the video. It means a lot. Thank you for joining in on this journey. I don't know how I can thank you for subscribing, and making the numbers of subscriber grow. There was a moment today, I'll show in my next video, when we captured it. A couple of individuals commented how the subscribers were 777, and that's totally Ketu. And I also took a screenshot. It's on this camera. Tomorrow I'll put in an iPad and I'll show you guys that moment that was captured. It's so beautiful. We have passed 777 subscribers today, and within such a short amount of time, we're getting so much love in this family home. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for joining and welcoming the family. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Anything that's bothering you, not only third house, in life troubling you and you're confused, reach out. I promise we'll work this out. Life is supposed to be a beautiful journey, not a painful one. So what's causing that pain? Let's talk. Thank you, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful night. Happy healing. Thank you.